You know, I'm about to do something that happens to female comics quite a bit, and we don't like it. So I'm going to try and do it tastefully, because I get to do it in reverse. Your next comic is a guy, everybody. Ooh. Fresh meat, I love it. What kind of show are we running here? Well, you're not, wow, you don't even want to let me introduce you. You just want to charge on up here, don't you?
I'm ready.
You're ready. All right. Well, that's how we do it in Dayton. Do you want me to even tell the good folks who you are? Okay, all right. How do you say it? Gastroenterologist. Are you in my network? I'm trying to network and make connections, everybody. It's not just about writing and comedy. I got to make sure I'm healthy. But he's and here's the thing. I wanted them to know this. That's why I didn't want you to rush it. He's working on a book entitled "Laughter is the Best Bowel Prep." Everybody, Dr. David Novick.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I just want you to know, Guy is not to be confused with Geezer. So I am a gastroenterologist with the Astronomy GI group. And tonight I'm going to share with you some stories from my practice. But first, a disclaimer. All patient identifiers have been removed, and many details have been changed to protect the innocent, the guilty, and the bloated. So when a patient comes into our center, our diligent nurses review many important details, including allergies. So one time, the nurse said to the patient, "Do you have any allergies?" And she said, "Yes, I'm allergic to giraffes." Barely refraining from rolling her eyes, the nurse said, "Well, how do you know that?" And she said, "Well, I was at the zoo near the giraffes, and I started sneezing." So the nurse said, "Well, don't worry, there are no giraffes on the schedule today." And anyway, our ultra-long scopes are out for repair. So a big part of our procedures involves anesthesia. And these days, the most common drug that we use is propofol, a drug unfortunately made famous by Michael Jackson. His doctor failed to read the warning label, which said, "Do not try this at home." But a little-known side effect of propofol is the expression of amorous feelings in that twilight when the patient is just partly waking up. And these comments have been especially noted by our young, handsome male anesthesiologist. So one time, a young woman said to the doctor, "I'd like you to take me out on a date so you can spike my drink." And the middle-aged woman said, "I'm in the kitchen now. Tell me what you want me to fix up." And the older woman said, "I'm a cougar, and I'm coming to get you." So luckily, none of these comments were remembered after the patient was fully awake. So a big part of what we do is colonoscopy. So when you're done with your mammogram, be sure not to skip the colonoscopy either. So to make it easier on our patients, we have developed playlists for the common phases of colonoscopy. And as you know, the day before, you have to be on a clear liquid diet and drink up to a gallon of prep solution. So you could listen to songs like Bobby Darin singing "Splish Splash," the Eagles' "Take It to the Limit," or Led Zeppelin, "When the Levee Breaks." During the colonoscopy, you could have the Beatles' "I'm Looking Through You," Creedence, "Looking Out My Back Door," or Dinah Washington, "Big Long Sliding Thing." Now, you may not know that one. At one time, it was actually banned from the airwaves. But in the song, the singer insists that she's looking for her trombone-playing man with his big, long, sliding thing. Well, we know what she's really singing about, don't we? The colonoscope, of course. By the way, in case you were wondering why we're called the Astronomy GI Group, it's because of the terrific taglines that we can use, like colonoscopy for the stars, and for you, exploring outer space and inner space, or the one that involves the seventh planet. Anybody remember the seventh planet? I think you got it. The Astronomy GI Group, where Uranus is always in our orbit. But we also see patients in the office. And one time, an 85-year-old man came in, and our diligent medical assistant was reviewing his prescription drugs. And then she said to him, "Do you take any recreational drugs?" And the 85-year-old guy says, "Yes, I take Viagra." And she said, no, that's a prescribed drug. That goes on the list with your prescription drugs. I'm talking about something that people take, on their own for pleasure." And he says, "Lady, you can call it what you like. But for me, Viagra is a recreational drug." So I hope you've enjoyed these stories. And I'm still working on my book. And I've learned a lot at this conference. But I know that the world of publishing is very challenging, and only a few succeed. So I look at it like this. If my book doesn't work out, I can always get a truck, a uniform, and a bell, and I'll be the gut humor man. Thank you.